Hello, hello. The second day is over, and I guess it's time to make a report about what did I learn today. So, yesterday I decided to learn about atom, and today I decided to study it further, and it turns out there are a lot of cool stuff going on with this little friend. And the first thing I wanted to mention is that atom, as I mentioned before, consists of protons, neutrons, and electrons. And I didn't actually know what neutrons do, and it turns out nothing special. They slightly add some weight, some mass to atom, or slightly decrease the weight or mass of atom, and that's how it works. But sometimes if there are like too many of neutrons, like if there is if the difference between the number of protons and neutrons are too high, if there are like too many neutrons in an atom, that's gonna be unstable atom, and probably that's not gonna last for a long time. Yep, that's what I learned about neutrons in an atom. So what else? By the way, there's also one really cool stuff we've learned during the chemistry class today, but I'm gonna talk about it a little later. So, and yeah, I got the idea of changing the number of protons in an atom. So, for example, if there are seven protons in an atom, that's gonna be a nitrogen, right? And usually if there are seven protons, then probably there are going to be 7 electrons in an atom, just because one positively charged proton usually attracts one negatively charged electron, and that's how it works if we're talking about the base state, of course. What else? Oh yeah, nitrogen. If there are 7 protons in an atom, that's gonna be a nitrogen. And if what's gonna happen if we, let's say, add one more proton, which is of course impossible right now. Maybe in the future people will realize how to do it. That's gonna transform into completely different material, into completely different element, and that's gonna become oxygen with 8 protons in an atom, oxygen atom. And if we remove one proton from nitrogen atom, that's gonna become carbon atom. Whoa, yeah. Yeah, that's how it works. And if there are like more and more atoms, more and more protons in an atom, the whole table is gonna build up. We're gonna discover the whole table. For example, if there are 79 protons in an atom, that's gonna be gold, right? And what else? Changing the number on the other hand. Oh, by the way, about the ions, it turns out even though we cannot add or remove the protons in an atom, we can easily remove or add the amount of electrons in an atom. and this modified atom is gonna be called an ion. For example, if we decided to add a few more electrons to nitrogen atom, that's gonna be nitrogen, that's gonna become nitrogen ion. Yep, charged nitrogen ion. Yep, that's basically it for atoms. Oh, and there's also one really cool thing. In the morning I had a chemistry class, and that was my first time rushing into the chemistry class just because I wanted to show off. I just wanted to show my professor that I'm not hopeless or etc. And today we learned in a class, we studied radiation. Yeah, and it turns out that's a pretty cool thing to learn. So there are multiple types of radiation. For example, alpha decay, beta decay, gamma emission, positron emission, electron capture, and maybe there are more we haven't learned yet. Right now I have no idea what these things are. Actually I understood about one of them, which is positron emission. Positron emission is basically positively charged electron. Wow, how is that possible? Well, it turns out there is a theory that in some little spaces around electrons there are positrons, aka positively charged electrons, and I don't know how it should help us to understand the whole science, but I think it's pretty cool that this sort of materials exist, and maybe I'll try to learn them further. What else? Yeah, the radiation stuff is pretty hard to learn. Hopefully I can make it. Maybe tomorrow. Who knows? But tomorrow I would love to learn about energy conservation, just because I have a speech after a week. After 2 weeks I will have a presentation. There are gonna be a lot of students, other students from environmental studies, and I'm a bit nervous. I don't know how to explain it, but I'm a bit nervous because that's my first time giving a big speech, making a big presentation. Oh, actually that's gonna be just 3 minutes presentation, but yeah, hopefully I can make it. So energy conservation. Energy conservation is basically, the idea is very simple. So every time you switch off the light that you do not use, or just decrease the amount of electricity that you use, that's gonna be called, that is energy conservation. Just saving the energy, reducing overall energy consumption, right? I remember when I was a kid, my father used to set a timer on the TV while I was watching it at night, because he knew that after 10 or 15 minutes I'm gonna fall asleep. So by that way he usually would save the energy. So energy conservation. Oh, by the way, energy conservation is closely related to energy efficiency. The only difference is energy conservation is about reducing overall energy consumption, but energy efficiency is delivering the same results but using less energy. So like, let's say delivering higher output for higher useful output for the same input energy, but sometimes they interact with each other and intersect with each other, and basically these are very, very close things to understand. Energy efficiency can lead to conservation. Yeah. Oh, by the way, for example, let's say you want to go from A to B. You can do it neither ways. You can use a car, which of course produces some heavily pollutants, and or you can use electric car, which is of course better for the environment. But what if you use the public transport? Well, public transport is always the best option for the environment, just because the amount of energy consumption and the efficiency is just better. It's just much better. What else? Oh, by the way, Chinese language. Today I tried to learn Chinese language, but I had very little time to learn it, but still I managed to learn some new words. And the first word for today is going to be 旅行. 旅行, 我喜欢旅行. 旅行, it means travel. 我喜欢旅行, I like to travel. And 地方, 地方, that's a noun, means place. 地方, but I'm still not clear about this word, because people say you can that means place, but there is also another Chinese word, 边, that also means place, 边or 地方. So I guess I have to learn how to differ those words. Anyway, for example, 地方, 他去过很多地方旅行. Like, he has been to many places. He has traveled to many places. Right. 他去过很多地方旅行. 旅行, the first word I've learned. 因为, that means because. 因为, like, 他去爬山，因为他喜欢旅行, something like that. And the next word is going to be 开心, that means joyful or happy. 开心, 我很开心. So, and the next word is going to be 大球, I believe that's how you pronounce that. 大球, that means play something. Play tennis, play basketball, play badminton, for example, and etc. And 散步, to go for a walk. 散步. Yeah. Oh, also there is a word 跑步, that means to go for a run. And here's a word 散步, to go for a walk. That's it for Chinese language, and today in the morning we had a class and we learned about, oh, that was a water treatment class, and we learned about biofilm. As I know, there are three methods of cleaning the water. The first one is physical treatment, the second one is chemical treatment, and the third one is biological treatment. Today we've learned about biological treatment, in particular, biofilm in particular. So, where is it? Oh, found it. It is here. So we've learned about the structure body. This is a structure body, and it's a circle. It's a circle shaped structure, and there is a spray. There is a spray that sprays water all over the surface, and there is a biofilter on the ground, so that the water goes through the biofilters. And after, I think biofilters are not thin. They're like 3 meters height. They're like 3 meters height, and they after the water goes through biofilters, I think they fall down. And they will be saved there for a certain period of time. And also you can use activated sludge for that. And if there is no activated sludge, then you can use some other biological treatments, for example flies, right? Why not? Flies are good for treatment. But if there is an activated sludge, you better do not use them. So I still am not clear about how this structure works in real life, but I somehow understood the overall idea, and yeah, that's pretty cool. And I think it's pretty simple to build, so that the urban areas would have a chance to have some clean water, some clean treated water. And what else? Oh, by the way, there are 4 layers of biofilm. The flowing water layer, the first one, attached water layer, the second one, biofilm aerobic layer, the third one, and the anaerobic layer of the biofilm, the last one. So, and there are also some factors that affect biofilm: the parts and concentration of the substrates, the pollutant content, and change flow in sewage are important factors. Nutrients balance. There should be a nutrient balance, which is going to be BOD5 to nitrogen to P. I don't know what P means. The ratio of nutrient requirements of biofilm method is organic and hydroloads. Organic and hydroloads are the last factor that affects on biofilm. Well, yep. Actually, that's it for today. And I don't know, my overall thoughts. I think I can see the results already, because today I could finally participate in the class. I could finally give some good questions to my professors, and actually I thought that's gonna take way more time, but you know, that's easier than I thought. And of course, I still have a long way to go, and hopefully, throughout the year, I will manage to learn all those little aspects and become a good engineer. All right, that's all for today. See you tomorrow.